welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly. This is my space where I talk about mostly knitting projects or knitting related things such as natural dyeing, and sometimes I'll share with you a little bit about my sewing as well. Today we have a little bit of a different style video. I recently received a bunch of old yarn that's been sitting on a shelf for about maybe even more than 20 years. And it was gifted to me from my papa. It used to be my nana's yarn. She used to work at a yarn shop and did a little bit of knitting here and there. So I'm very excited to go through all of the yarn with you today. This might be split into two videos because I have 3 full boxes. So we'll see, but yeah, I'm very excited to talk to you all about this yarn and maybe talk about some pattern ideas I have for this yarn. And also, this yarn is quite old, so a lot of it is probably discontinued, but I know some of the brands are familiar to me, so maybe they've just kind of rebranded in a little way. But I'd also love to know if any of you have this yarn in your stash or have worked with it maybe many years ago. That would be so cool to know, and maybe what pattern you used for it. I'd also love any pattern suggestions if you have any, because I'm at a loss for some of the yarn here. So I think we'll just start with one box and we'll go through each yarn that I have and we'll go from there. Now, before we get started in getting into one of the boxes, I'll start with what I'm wearing. This is the Lily top by Yumiko Alexander. I brought it out today. It's kind of a summer top, but it's nice and warm today. It's supposed to be about 10 degrees before it gets cold again. So this is one of my favorite summer tops. It's a Lily top by Yumiko Alexander, and I knit this in the We Are Knitters cotton in the color copper. I knit this about a year ago, and I've been wanting to knit a second one for quite some time now. I just haven't gotten around to it. This piece is knit flat and bottom up, and I would like to modify it to knit in the round. I think it'd be a really simple modification to do, and I'd also like to make it a bit longer. This one's quite cropped, as you can see my belly button's right there. Make it a bit longer, a couple inches, make the sleeves a little bit longer, and maybe use some yarn that has a little bit of a better drape to it. I just used this yarn because it was in my stash and I wasn't at a place to purchase any yarn at the time, but I still love it and it's a very well-worn piece. Okay, so before we dive into this box, one more thing. Any patterns that I mentioned today, I will put down in the description box below, and it'll be linked to the Ravelry project page. Okay, first box here. I have 2 balls. One's been broken into. This other one is kind of intact, but I don't think it's been used. So it is, oh, I was showing you that upside down, I think. So this is Zobel yarn. It's 62% baby alpaca and then 30% polyacryl and then 8% bomb wool. So this is a 100-gram ball and you get 52 meters. And look at this strand here. It is so unique and different. I've not seen a yarn like this before, and it just looks so cozy. Now, I don't have a whole lot to work with, but immediately when I saw it, I was thinking it could look really cool as kind of the lining of maybe some mitts or like the cuff of mitts, maybe the cuff of a hat. It could also be the collar of like a coat/jacket type knit. And then also the cuffs of that same jacket to make it look like it's lined with something soft. It could also be a pillow, a really fluffy pillow, or maybe a stuffed animal like a stuffed knit sheep or puppy. So I'd love to know your thoughts on those ideas, and if you have any other ideas, maybe even some particular patterns that would work well for this. I would really love to know, because like I said, I have some ideas for this, but I'm a little bit stuck on what I should actually do. So it does call for, it doesn't say the actual gauge or maybe it did, but I don't have the rest of the band, but I think it's saying 8 to 9 for the knitting needles. I don't know if that's US 8 or 8 to 9 millimeters. I have no idea. But again, 100 gram ball and 52 meters. And I probably have about maybe 2/3 of this ball. Okay, on to the next. I just have a ball, a tightly wound ball that's been broken into of this boucle-like yarn. I'm assuming it's a wool / acrylic. I'm not entirely sure. There was no ball band for this. And I really just snagged this because I thought it could be a really cool like bolster style pillow that's more on the small side, or just a tiny rectangular pillow for our bed. That's all I have in mind so far. The color's really blowing out. I'm filming on the ground today. As you can probably tell, we're in a different location. It was just a lot easier for me to be on the ground to like display or to organize all of these boxes and to have them around me rather than at my desk. And my craft room is getting quite full right now with some other things. Anyways, and I'm also right in front of a big window, which is great for natural light, but it does kind of make these lighter yarns blow out a bit. So if you have any other suggestions for this, I'd love to know, but I am leaning towards a pillow, I think. Okay, the next one, we've got quite a bit of these. Let's count. So I have 8 balls of this penguin chunky. It's 75% acrylic, 25% wool, and it's a 50 gram ball for 82 meters. So is that close to like a worsted weight? Let's see, worsted DK weight. It says the gauge is 15 stitches for a 4x4. It's probably more of a worsted, I think, but it's a very deep, rich navy blue. You can see the high twist there. So I was kind of thinking that this would be really great for a children's sweater. Maybe like it could just be a basic pullover, maybe some from Petite Knit I'll put up on the side. Maybe even the Sunday sweater would look really cute. I would love to make something for my niece and have, when she grows out of it, maybe it can be handed down to her or to my nephew, her brother. That's kind of what I have in mind for this. I think it's just a good color for both the kids, I think, and it says it's machine washable, which is great, a great plus for kids items. That's what I'm really leaning towards for this. I'm also thinking that this could be a really cute Azucena sweater. So recently, Eweknit Toronto has come out with a new design. It's called the Azucena sweater, and it's a circular yoke knit from the top down, and it's got a bit of color work of like scallop / petals here, and then some little color work flowers down the yoke. It is for adults, but I was thinking if it's possible, I could maybe try and do a little bit of math and make a smaller version for my niece. Oh, that would be so cute on her. I'm already picturing it, and I was thinking that if that's possible, if I could work that out, I would want this as the main color. And then I could either find some yarn in my stash for the contrast color, or I've even got some other colors in this other box that I could use. And yeah, we could just kind of use up some wool that's been laying around in my stash and then use up this for that sweater. So that's another thought. And speaking of the Azucena sweater, there is a knit along starting, which will be starting on Friday, March 8th. And if you're interested, you can use the code, I'll put it up here, it's the Azucena Karlie, and you can get 50% off the pattern price. You can also get the pattern for free if you make a project for the Azucena sweater on Ravelry and send the screenshot to Eweknit Toronto on Ravelry, and they'll give you the pattern for free. So the only thing that you have to do to be a part of this knit along and be eligible for any future prizes is you do have to make that project page on Ravelry. And there's also a discussion thread that you can join if you want to, and you can introduce yourself and chat with other makers along the way. So I am going to be participating in that. I'm pretty bad with knit alongs. I always start them and I have a tough time finishing them because in the past, test knits have always kind of gotten in the way. And this year, I don't plan on doing any test knits. I did a lot last year and I feel like I'm done with them. I don't really feel the need to do that anymore. So I'm hoping that this year I can fully immerse myself in the knit along for this Azucena, and hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. I did look up the pronunciation before and I believe I'm still saying it correctly. And it actually means lily. So I think there's even some like embroidery detail on there too with beads. I'm pretty sure that's what they said, but it's just such a cute sweater and I really picture it on my niece. So I'm hoping I can do a mini version and kind of see if I can work around some of the numbers there, but we'll see. So yeah, if you're interested, the code will be down below in the description box as well. And then just remember to make a project page on Ravelry. Okay, we only have one of these, and this is the Welcome Paris Le Tweed. You can see it's black and blue and green and a bunch of different colors applied together. It's 127 yards for a 50-gram ball. So this is all I have. All I'm thinking for this is maybe an accessory, like a hat for one of the kids, something like that. That's all I have in mind. Maybe it could be mittens, like World's Simplest Mittens by Tin Can Knits. If you have any suggestions for this lonely ball of yarn, 127 meters, 50 grams, I would love to know. Let's see what the suggested gauge is on this, if they have it. No, I don't think so. But, oh wait, here it is. 16 stitches, so, and maybe that's a worsted weight gauge. And this is 70% wool, 25% alpaca, and then 5% polyamide. Next one, we've got 4 of these. This is, I don't know how to pronounce this. George's Picard, maybe? This is a thick and thin wool. As you can see, it's very thick in some and then quite thin in others. And it's a beautiful steel slate green / blue, grayish. It's gorgeous and it is so soft. It's 100% acrylic, but you would never know. This one I'm really struggling with. I have no clue what to do with this. So each ball, and like I said, I have 4. Each ball is 100 grams and it comes with 84 meters. And the suggested, why am I having a tough time with that word today? Suggested gauge is 13 stitches. Yep. 13 stitches for a 4x4 gauge. So, any ideas, anyone? I have no idea. It could be a really nice cowl, but I think I would have a lot of leftover yarn for that. I would like to use as much yarn as possible. It could be, I've actually made, when I first started knitting garments a couple years ago, I knit my mom, it was called the Berents Cardigan by, it was a kit from, I think it's We Are Knitters, and I'll put up a picture here, and it's just garter stitch. It was knit in panels, super easy, but I used their wavy wool and it's similar to this, like thin and thick and all that throughout the ball, and it looked really cute. So maybe I could do something like that with this, and I could use the Gartergan by Tori Yu, I'm not sure what the gauge is for that and what yarn weight she calls for that pattern, but I'm sure I could easily adjust it to fit this gauge. I think that could be a good option. What do you guys think? I just fell in love with the color on this one, so I had to get it. Okay, so I've got about, let me count here, 1 second. I've got about 22, 24 balls of this Argyle Bedouin. It's 30% cotton, 22% acrylic, 8% polyester, 20% mohair, and 20% wool. I'll get one without the ball band on it so you can see the beautiful colors in this. Here's the yarn. So I have so many ideas for this one. I'm not entirely sure what to do with it. I'm trying to find the gauge on here if they have it, a recommended gauge. They don't. That's okay. I'm assuming it's close to a DK weight / heavy fingering maybe. I'm kind of considering that it could be a really cute oversized, oh, what's it called? Cumulus Blouse by Petite Knit. I've been wanting to make one for a while, and I think this could be really earthy and beautiful. But I am concerned if it would be too itchy for me to wear kind of as a garment, and maybe I would want something closer to a jacket for this type of yarn. So there is this, I forgot to write it down and I'm dropping on the name right now, but I'll put it up here, and it's this really beautiful deep V cardigan, and it's got a really deep raglan as well, and I could either hold it alone or hold it double or hold this with something else and do a cardigan like that. That way, if I'm concerned if it's itchy, it will always be like a second layer and it's not directly against my skin, so I think that would be a really good option. Also, if I were to do the Cumulus Blouse, I could always just wear like a high neck tank top underneath or sweater if that does bother me. I know I definitely want to make the Cumulus Blouse eventually, so that's kind of what I was thinking. But with these colors and how earthy it is, I am kind of getting more of a jacket vibe from this. So I am leaning towards the jacket. There's also a Wabi Sabi cardigan by Milena Juhola. Hopefully I'm pronouncing her name correctly. And it's more of a coat style, and it is, I'm obsessed with this cardigan / jacket, whatever, and I think this would look really pretty in it too. So let me know which one out of those that you think would be best for this Bedouin Argyle, or if you have any other suggestions. Again, you guys, I need ideas here. Okay, I think I've got about 10 balls of this next stuff. It's more Penguin Fil de Cosse number 4, and it is a 50-gram ball, 100% cotton, and 110 yards. So it's about, I would say it's probably like a heavy fingering / light DK maybe. It's calling for a 24 stitch gauge on 4x4, on a 4x4 swatch. So I really love this color, and it's not something I have a lot of. If anything, I don't think I have any navy blue in my wardrobe. So I was thinking it's 100% cotton, so it'd be great summer shirt. I was thinking Sunday Tee by Petite Knit or the Ankor Tee by Petite Knit. And I know Petite Knit is everywhere. She's very popular, but and a lot of people now are trying to, use other designers, kind of lesser known designers, but I've only knit like 2 tiny things from Petite Knit, the Sophie scarf and then a tiny baby cardigan, and I haven't knit like barely anything from her. And I feel like I have knit a lot from smaller designers. Not that I have to justify any of this, but I am kind of interested. I'm really late to the game, but I am interested in knitting a bit more of Petite Knit, because she does have such like classic basic styles that would really fit for a wardrobe that I'm looking to build. I'm looking to simplify and kind of have some more classic pieces that I can build around. So she's good for that. So I'm leaning towards that. This could also be good for another lily top. It is a thinner yarn than what I used for this. This is more of like a worsted weight cotton and it's heavier. So I feel like this with the longer sleeves, it would have a better drape. So I am leaning towards that as well. Okay, I have 3 balls of this. It's Pembroke from Barocco, which is cool. And it is, let's see what we have here. 16 stitches, is about a worsted weight, maybe heavy DK, and it's 96% wool, 4% polyamide. And look at all of those pretty colors in there. No clue what to do with this. What, like 0. I don't even know. Yeah, I've got 3 of these. One was broken into. I have 65 meters for 50 grams. I don't have a whole lot to work with. Maybe I could just get a cute hat out of it for one of the kids. Any ideas, anyone? So again, this is the Pembroke Barocco. If you have any ideas for this, I would love to know. I'm kind of lost as to what I should do for this one. Really beautiful colors though. Okay, this is the last one out of this box, and this is more Penguin Fluoride. 65% viscose, 35% silk, and 50 gram balls and 96 yards per gram, or per ball. And I've got, whoa, I think I've got about 10 of these, it looks like. And, oh, let's see if I can get an accurate, there we go. So it's really thick and thin pieces. The thicker pieces I think is mostly like the silk part. And it's just a really like, I would say this is a very accurate champagne color. I would love to just make, let's see, like a really drapey tank top for summer would be beautiful. Because I just kind of want a stockinette stitch where these little slubs of silk can really stand out. So there is that, I'm not entirely sure in what yarn weight this pattern calls for, but there's the Tulip Tank by Purl Soho. That could be really pretty in this. That might call for a light fingering though. But even maybe like a Tolsta Tee could be good with this too, just something really simple. But I am kind of more drawn towards the idea of a sleeveless tank garment for this yarn. What do you all think? If you have any tank ideas or tank patterns that would kind of look cute with this, please let me know. I'm going to have a lot of fun on Ravelry for the next few weeks, just kind of getting more ideas. I've already been on Ravelry trying to get ideas for all these yarns, but I changed my mind a lot and then new patterns come out and you see different things and then it changes your whole plan. But it is fun to talk about it and it is fun to just brainstorm and get ideas. Okay, that's it for the first box. Before things get out of hand, I'm just going to quickly tidy up here. Okay, on to box number 2. All right, we're gonna start with some that I'm not particularly fond of and I don't even know why I grabbed it. I might have just been panicking and like overwhelmed by the amount of yarn. But this is some Arctic bulky. It's just some, let's see what it is. It's made in Canada, 100 yards for 100 gram ball, and it's 100% acrylic, machine washable, all of that. So it's just this kind of bright buttery yellow. It's kind of getting blown out. Let's see if I I basically got this to just do a baby knit, maybe a baby blanket, just because it's machine washable. And I thought it doesn't hurt to have a baby blanket or a baby knit, whatever that may be, kind of stashed away for whenever you need to gift somebody a baby blanket. So that's kind of what I had in mind. I don't know. I could just make a simple baby blanket and have it ready for a gift whenever I need to gift somebody something for their newborn. Here we've got wool blend from our Lane 4-ply, machine washable, 25% wool, 75% acrylic. This is a 100-gram ball, and you get, let's see, does it say? It doesn't say the yardage on this. That's all right. Again, I got this. This is just like a softer butter yellow compared to this one. I got this, and I only have one, just to do a baby knit to have on hand to gift to somebody. I don't even have any like pregnant people in my life, but you know, it's good to be prepared when you need though either the yarn for it or the actual gift quickly and ready to go. So maybe I can do a cute little like baby cardigan out of this. So I've got more of that wool blend 4-ply by our Lane, but now I've got this nice neutral gray, and there are quite a few of these, which is nice. There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. So I'm assuming I could get a nice sweater for myself out of this. Again, like the Wabi Sabi Cardi could be good, or she also has, I think it's pronounced like the Maja sweater, M-A-J-S-A, I believe. I thought this could be really cute out of that. Again, it's machine washable, so that's nice. I could also do a baby blanket or just a blanket for myself out of this since it's machine washable. There's so many options here. And you know, I'm not one for gray. I don't really like wearing gray. Gray kind of makes me, not kind of, gray, I've always avoided gray because it makes me sad. So I don't know if this would be a good call for a garment for me, but you know, I'm not terribly upset at this gray. Grays that I really don't like to wear are like charcoal grays for whatever reason. And I think this is like a nice enough gray for myself, but maybe it is better as a blanket. I really do love that Maja sweater though. And sometimes it's nice to just have a neutral sweater. Let me know what you guys think, as usual. Okay, we'll stay on the gray theme. So, wow, my Nana had a lot of this penguin, Ping of France yarn. And this is 75% acrylic, 25% wool. It's a DK weight yarn, and there's 50-gram balls. And I've got 4 of them. So, oh wait, this is different. I've got 3 of them. So I'm thinking a baby knit for this, maybe just a cute little baby jumper. Machine washable, so a new mom would love that. And maybe I could even just knit something for my niece or nephew. That would be a good idea. Yeah, I like that idea. Here's more penguin, Ping of France. Same deal here. It's DK 75 acrylic, 25% wool. I just have it in this deep royal blue. There's quite a bit of this. So there's 4, 6, 8. I've got 10 balls. So I could make something for myself. But what do I want to make? And this isn't a color I ever wear or really enjoy wearing because it's quite bright. I do love bright colors, but it's just this, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say actually, but this color I've just never really been drawn to for wearing, but maybe it's something I would enjoy. Maybe I could just make a nice little like simple raglan. I don't know. Or maybe this would be cool in the Maja sweater. I could also just keep it and make a ton of baby/kid knits. It is nice to save this machine washable stuff for kids, because all of the stuff I've knit for my niece and nephew it's not been machine washable. No, except for one. But I'm sure my sister's just like, great, another thing that I can't throw out in the washing machine. I guess like a cardigan would look cute with this too. There was a cardigan. Oh, I can't remember. I thought I had a cardigan in mind other than the ones I've already mentioned, but I'm not sure if I do. Oh yes, there is. I'll put it up here. And originally I was thinking, yeah, I think I want something neutral for that sweater. I don't think I would love it in this, so never mind, but I do love that sweater a lot, and maybe I could use this yarn for it. For some reason, I just have one ball of this Penguin Comfort. Penguin. I don't even know. I don't know if I'm saying it right. And this will have to be a hat of some sort. 50% wool, 40% acrylic, 10% mohair. It's a 50-gram ball. It's DK weight. I think I'll just make that into a hat for somebody in my family. A gift knit in the future. Oh. Oh, and I found just a bunch more of this stuff. So, oh, and more of this. Okay. So I have more gray than I thought. But it's good. I feel like that gray is really good for gift knitting because it's neutral. You don't want to go with it too crazy of a color for gift knitting sometimes, unless you really know the person's preference. Okay, so this is Patton's Bracken Tweed DK. It's 60% wool, 40% acrylic, and it's a 50-gram ball. And look at the pretty colors in there. I wonder if I could get away with a pair of like house socks or slippers with this. I really love the color. Maybe I can make it a gift for somebody. I'd have to check the patterns and see if I have enough yardage for this. I wish it would tell me the yardage. That's wild that some of these older skeins just don't have any of the yardage or meterage. I've got just a bit of this Penguin DK weight, the 75% acrylic, 25% wool, not a whole lot. This would have to be like a little baby thing, I think. Maybe like a little vest or something. I've got one ball of this Arlen Rustic. It's 85% wool, 15% acrylic. It's a 50-gram ball. I think it's about a worsted weight maybe. I just have one ball, so I don't even know why I grabbed this, honestly, because what am I gonna... Maybe I can get a hat out of it. For a baby, maybe? I got two of these. More of this Penguin DK with the acrylic and wool content. This could be a hat for somebody. Another baby thing. I don't know. Maybe I could join all of these Penguin ones that I have and stripe them all together and make a blanket, make a big baby blanket. I don't know. That would be a good way. I've got more of this Penguin Comfort, and it's the DK weight, but this one has the mohair content and acrylic and wool. I've got just one of those. No. I've got three. Maybe a little baby Cardi. The rest here, let's see. We're getting down to it. We've got Patton's Canadiana. 50-gram machine washable, 100% acrylic. How many of these do I have? I do not know. I think I might just have one. That sucks. Or maybe this is it too. I don't know. This could actually be a really cute little baby bonnet hat. That one that I have in mind I'll put up here. I'm not sure if this is the correct weight of yarn for it, but if it's not for that pattern, I could find a different one, and hopefully there'd be enough yardage for this, but it'd be really cute, I think. Of course, more of this stuff, same as all of the other penguins I showed you, and yeah, maybe I can just stripe them together. Make a fun little blanket. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards that for all of this stuff because all of the colors here that I have like a limited quantity of the balls and they're all acrylic, that could make a really cute machine washable blanket for my niece and nephew or any future kids that are part of my life. I just have one ball of this Veronica International Effect Islay. I don't know if I'm saying any of that right. It's a 50-gram ball. It's made in Germany, West Germany it says. Yeah, it doesn't have, 150 meters. It does not have the wool content on here. Looks really soft though. I have no idea. And then I've just got this thermo knit, which is, it says for Erin Styles, machine washable. 50% polypropylene. I'm not saying that right. 30% acrylic. And then, oh yeah, 20% wool. There we go. 50-gram ball. I've got a couple of these, so I could just go in that blanket, or it could be a tiny baby sweater. So I'm gonna end it there for today. That's all. That's 2 boxes. I've got one more box to go through, which is still at my papa's house. I just did not have room in my car. So we'll leave it there for today. I'm very excited about all of this. It feels really nice to have all of this because, yeah, my Nana passed away about 20 years ago. I was 10, and I always knew that she knit, like, you know, after she passed away. And once I got involved in knitting, I would hear that she worked at a yarn store and that she knit and would make everybody sweaters, but I don't have any memories of her like knitting in front of me, and I wish I did. I think that would be really nice way for us to connect. But now that I have a lot of her yarn, I think it'll be really great to connect with her in that way. And it's not nice to have all of these boxed up and sitting on a shelf for as long as they have been. They need to get used and made into something else, you know, kind of brought into, like, bring a new life to this yarn and pass it on to other generations in my family, you know, through giving it to maybe my future kids, if I knit some up for them, or my nieces and nephews. And I think it's just really special, and yeah, I'm very happy that I'm getting all of this stuff. I'm pretty much the only knitter in my family, so that's why I'm getting a lot of this. My aunt is starting to knit again, and she mostly crochets, a little bit here and there, but we recently started every few weeks. We've only done one, but we have another one planned, of just having a knit and chat hangout where we have lunch together and we just knit together, and that's been really fun too. But I think I'm going to show her some of this yarn too and see if she wants any of it. But yeah, it's a really fun like special way to connect with my Nana. So I hope you enjoyed this type of video and seeing some old vintage yarns. I don't know, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research and see if any of these brands are still in production or not. We did see one Barocco, so we do know that that's in production still, and maybe not that particular yarn, but that company. There's also a Patons, and yeah, we know that Patons is around still. So it's been fun kind of seeing these yarns. They're not something I would ever like go to a yarn store and pick out myself, I don't think, but that's what's kind of fun about it, because then it maybe branches me out of my like comfort zone of what I'm used to knitting and what I'm used to knitting with, and kind of introduces me to other patterns because of this style of, you know, the wool blends maybe calls for a different style of pattern, all that. And, you know, with a lot of the knits for baby knits, it's kind of exciting. I love doing baby knits. They go by so fast and they're so cute. But my niece and nephew, they're growing fast, so I'm gonna have to get on it. But yeah, that was really fun to share with you all today, and I really hope you enjoyed it. I should have another video coming out shortly after this. I'm not going to say when because I have no idea, but hopefully in the next week or two, I'll have a regular podcast style episode where I can show you progress on some of my whips. I've really been prioritizing working on old languishing whips, and it's been feeling really good. I've been doing monogamous knitting for once, so I'm just focusing on one knit at a time, and I'm just loving it right now because I'm seeing a lot of progress, way like faster than I normally would when I'm jumping between 5 or so knits at a time. So I really just am focusing on clearing my needles, clearing off all of my whips, because I have a lot that I want to knit this year, and it's hard for me to kind of get the motivation to cast on something new when I know I have so many other whips like on my bookshelf here and in the craft room just sitting around, and it makes me feel bad that I haven't put in the time to finish them. So it's been really fun picking up old projects because at this point they feel brand new to me, so it's kind of like ignited a new level of excitement for this project. And a lot of them are summer/spring knits that I put down at the end of summer or spring last year. So it's a really good time for me to work on these again, just in time for spring, which is around the corner. Thank God. Thank God. So yeah, that's been my focus. I've also been doing a lot of prep for sewing some garments, and I want to do a video soon solely focused on my like short-term sewing goals, because I have actually picked up some fabric from my Nana's craft room as well, and I went to the salvage center the other day and I got a lot of beautiful fabric for like $5. I got a few yards of like 3 different types of fabric and good quantities, all for $5. So I just kind of want to share with you my sewing plans for the fabrics that I currently have. And a lot of them are summer materials, so I kind of want to get on that and get sewing so I can enjoy them and wear them in the appropriate season/weather. So yeah, I've been really focusing on that and just trying to get caught up on things. Please consider liking or subscribing or commenting if you like. It really does help my videos, and it supports me in a really great way, and it goes such a far way by just even liking or subscribing to the channel. So thank you so much, and I'll talk to you all soon.